Welcome back. You may notice something a little different today. Yep, I'm wearing the old Surrey tuxedo. Feels good. The reason for that is because we are in late September and the rains have returned. Beautiful West Coast weather, and along with it, it's a little bit colder. So for the very first time in months and months and months, the heater in the boat is going, keep things warm and dry in there, and I had to put my coat on. So when last we met, I was working on, can't remember what I was working on. I think it was the rudder cheeks. And today, we're going to continue work on the rudder cheeks. The stainless steel washers that I took off, the old ones, are still quite usable. I'm not worried about crevice corrosion or anything in them, but they've got a little bit of rust on them. So I bought some product to clean them up, and I'm going to give that a shot today, see how it works. This is the stuff here. Flits. Comes in a little tube. It's kind of like a paste. And I have no idea how it works, so this is certainly not an endorsement of any product, but we're going to give it a shot and see how it cleans up the washers. Once the washers are cleaned up, I'm going to attempt to put the rudder cheeks on in the rain. Now, when I test fit them, it didn't take that long. It only took about 15 minutes, but when I install them permanently, of course, I've got to put 4200 on the backside of them, quite a considerable amount of 4200 on the backside of them. The reason for that is because the 4200 acts as a bit of a bedding material. The rudder is just, almost foil shaped, and the rudder cheeks, obviously, they're planed wood. They're going to be flat. I think that's what was on the old ones when I took them off, was 4200 or 5200, something like that. And so I've got a couple of tubes ready to go for that. And I also want to make sure that the bolt holes and around the washers don't leak like they did before. Not that it's an issue. There's nothing in the rudder that's going to rot other than the rudder cheeks, and they're covered in epoxy. But that's going to take some time. So let's get busy before we run out of daylight here. Got all the stainless steel polished up, no more rust, which is great. Clean up the threads on the bolts, so that should be easy to put on. I am going to stop by the marine hardware store tomorrow and pick up some nylock nuts. The ones I've got are covered in ancient 4200 or 5200 or something. I just don't like them. They're kind of ugly, so I'm going to get some new ones, cheap enough. And I decided not to put the rudder cheeks on tonight. One, because it's peeing down rain, and two, because there were some epoxy drips that had hardened on the rudder cheeks underneath where the washers are going to go, so I had to sand them down. Of course, sanding them down scratches up everything else, so I had to re-epoxy just a little bit. So I think I'm going to call it a night and head home. So, as always, fair winds, following seas. God bless.